What's up? I know my hair is crazy and I probably sound a little bit like nasally. And the setup is a little like there's sun coming in. The audio might be a little bit clunky, but I don't want that to detract from my message here because I feel like I have something to offer. So, well, let's get right into it. My girlfriend of 5.5 years, my high school sweetheart, was unfaithful to me. Like about maybe a year ago. And a dog we had raised together was taken from me, which was my worst fear because I was very attached to the dog. I loved the dog like I was a kid. I would bring the dog things when I got home from work. I'd be waiting at the door, perfect. Just we slept together every night. She really meant a lot to me. And that was my worst fear, that she would take the dog away from me. But I had to accept all of that, I realized quickly, and move on with my life, because sometimes, we're just powerless to change things, and we just have to we can only change ourselves in the way we think about it. So for a lot of people that have attachment issues, which is super common nowadays, or like maybe you have borderline personality disorder or other personality disorders, it's your worst fear that your partner cheats on them. And I had BPD, so, it was like, it was a worse fear of mine, you know what I mean? But I kind of prepared myself and kind of saw the writing on the wall, so it wasn't a complete utter shock, which I know can be even worse for people. And if you have attachment issues and borderline personality disorder, perspective is going to help you a lot, because you have to realize what's, kind of valid to feel and what's just you're feeling it more or in a different, less, a beneficial way to you because of your attachment issues. So basically, I just want to, first I'll validate you. I think getting cheated on is, whether you've been married for 20 years or whether you've been together for a month, I think it is perhaps, the worst betrayal that's universal that most people will experience in their life. It's a feeling like, like people say, you're getting your heart ripped out. It changes the way you think about the world. It changes your anxiety levels. It changes the way you think about, relationships and safety, and it can impact, more importantly, it can do you a disservice because it can impact the way that you trust people moving forward, which is a big part of what I wanted to talk about, okay? So, someone you trust, if they cheat on you, your brain that's trying to protect you, it's going to say, moving forward, you shouldn't trust people, and moving forward, that could be a maladaptive thing for you. So you really have to monitor whether that's valid or whether this person is different, and you can find a nicer person who won't do the same thing, and just limiting that impact on you moving forward. I know it's very hard and it's going to take time. When someone cheats on you, I know this is such a frustrating and hard truth to have to comprehend, because it feels like they got one up on you. We're humans. It's like they have the upper hand. They cheated. They have someone new already. They did something, and I'm down here and I feel small and all this stuff. You have to have this higher order of thinking, higher brain. Shout out the lizard brain saying it's like this, and say, no, morally, spiritually, in every way, you're up here. Because in order for them to cheat, they have to do something that universally frowned upon. They know it's wrong. You know it's wrong. Everyone else would know it's wrong. And it says more about them, because people cheat because they're feeling inadequate. It's a problem with them. It's not a problem with you. That's like saying, it's like, when people say, it's just, you have to have the faith that it's a problem with them. There's something wrong with them, and that's why they cheated. That's the truth. It's not something wrong with you. There can be things you're doing that drive them out of the relationship, as far as breaking up and things that you're not doing, and maybe you need to reflect on that and learn. But excusing cheating is never all right. You know what I mean? So they feel inadequate, and it's a problem with them. So the feeling that you're feeling, they're already feeling that. They felt inadequate. They felt like they weren't good enough. They felt like they had to cheat. They felt like, you know what I mean? So the best thing you can do for you, and this was so hard for me, and I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I was a bigger person, because a lot of times, you hear on the news, or you hear on this or on that, people after a breakup, they feel like they got slighted. They feel like they got wronged. They want to get even. But the way to get even is not the way that your impulsive or your anger, your wrath is going to tell you, because that's a destructive force. You want to, go fight them, or take something, or steal something, or egg their house, or do this or do that or whatever. And guess what? It crossed my mind, kind of like a thought, like, not like I'm actually going to do it. I could hurt, their new special person, or I could, take the dog and go. And these are things that it's your brain, part of your brain trying to, rationalize how you're going to get even, how you're going to make things right. But if I can let you in on one thing, you have to treat the end of your relationship like a death. And what I mean is, we're powerless to change death. There's going to be no resurrection. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying there's going to be no, like, this person is coming back. Your religious faith might have resurrection, but you're not going to bring the person back. All you have. So when someone passes away, and trust me, I've had people pass away that are the sweetest, nicest. My grandma was the best lady I ever knew. I was practically half raised by her. I loved her. It crushed me so much when she died. But I have to realize, and I had to realize, when someone passes away, there is no changing it. And that's the same way with a relationship. All you can do is deal with, so like, it's final. Your relationship's over, it's final. When someone passes away, it's final. It's hard to realize this and wrap your head around it, because, our ego or whatever wants to, still have power over it, and I want to affect it and change it. But really, you're powerless. And at the end of a relationship, the best thing you can do is accept it. That it happened, that it hurts now, that it won't hurt this bad forever, and that you have to accept that it ended, and it has ended, and it will end, and it's done. And all you can do is deal with it, and you have to focus not on destructive energy of getting even and revenge, but a constructive energy of focusing on yourself. And I know that's a corny thing, and I was even thinking to myself, like, that's kind of like, yeah. But I did, instead of focusing on getting even, I just said, it happened to me, it's wrong, it's hard to accept, but you know what? I'm powerless to change it, so I'm just going to focus on making my life happier and better. So and this is not going to work for everyone, and especially if you're older and you're more stuck in your kind of like, your area of your life. But small things. I started a garden. It made me happy to be in the sun, to working. I always wanted to start a garden. I started playing guitar more. It made me happy. It actualizes who I feel like I am as a person. I had more time to hang out with friends. I had more time to surf, which I love to do. And I just focused on really, making my life happier outside of being with that person. So basically, I like to think about it like this. When someone cheats, your village got attacked. And there's two choices. You can either do the quick, impulsive thing, send out your warriors right away as your village is still in rubble, and go attack their village, or go move on to another person. Or you can say, let's focus on defense, put the warriors on the wall. We're going to build our walls stronger. We're going to make our village better. and more, and just better and stronger and more unified. And that's what you do when you reflect and you accept and you just work on yourself and you think to yourself, this person, what they did was I'm gonna mess this word up, unequivocally, wrong. But maybe there's things in the relationship that I could have done better, that I can learn and reflect on moving forward. And that's powerful to think like that and it's hard to think like that, but it's powerful to think like that because you're changing yourself for the better, which is something no one can take away and something that will make your life better going forward with a new partner. So I just want to say, I know all this is like kind of wishy-washy, but it's been applied through a life situation where, I had to accept, I had to just sit in my car and cry and say, I'm powerless to change this, but I know this relationship is over. It wasn't good for me. I wasn't very happy, and I can do better for myself, and I can do better moving forward. And yeah, it panned out for the better. And I had faith that it would. And at that time it was hard because it felt like this person was here and I was down here. But now, as everything's settled, I realize, it was a learning experience for this person, and I don't wish them ill. And it's just how, that's how it works out, we're all in this together, and that's a universal thing. You definitely just need to let time pass and grieve, because it's like a death, honestly. You can grieve, especially if you're a man. It can be hard, I know. Trust me. It's not always easy to express your emotions and everything. But you really have to grieve it as something that you're powerless, that the universe has just taken away. But acceptance is such a powerful thing. Well, I hope this helped people. If anyone watches this, I'm not sure. This is like some secret channel I have, but I just thought this was a good message to share. And yeah, I don't have any degrees, or all this, but see, when people talk about breakups and stuff from when it's like a professor or something, like some person, it just seems so disconnected. I'm just a regular guy who had I had a bad breakup, and it hurt really bad. And I just wanted to tell people, just kind of have faith in yourself and keep moving forward, and it'll all work out. And I know it's super hard and it sucks, but that's just period. It just sucks, sometimes it just sucks for a while, but you just got to keep going, so hope this helps. Keep working on everything, keep working on yourself, and try to keep a positive outlook on your life, and keep doing what you love.